Don't deviate. Don't procrastinate. Don't become frustrated. All you have to do to win this battle is stay on track.
The only thing more important than who you are today is who you're becoming tomorrow. We choose a life of progression, not perfection. How many of you know that where you're headed is more important than where you are? Life is a process. And the very fact that we're declaring that we are becoming also insinuates the fact that we are not there yet. If we're not careful, we will turn this concept of becoming into a destination. And people over and over again, they get so focused on what's next or another season or another space because there is this notion and this idea that somehow the grass is green over the fence on the other side. The grass is not greener on the other side. The grass is simply green where you choose to water the grass.
How is it that many times we block ourselves and we use these words almost like we're in a trance? That we find ways to cancel out our dreams. And I think that a lot of things that we want to do, a lot of places we would like to go, a lot of things we would like to experience, and we just stop at but. That but is a dream killer.
When I'm in trouble, I don't need nobody coming to tell me I'm in trouble. I got sense enough to know I'm in trouble. I don't need that. I don't need you to come and tell me that. I need you to come help me get out of trouble. A friend is born for the day of adversity. And if you are not there with me in my adversity, you are not a real friend.
Live your life, make your mark. Don't wake up every day being consumed in everybody else's thoughts. Live your life and make your mark. You're not supposed to be another person that lived and died and didn't do anything significant.
Life was designed not to give us what we want, but life was designed to give us what we deserve. It says those that give, receive. It says those that search will find. Go where good ideas are being taught, go searching, go looking, because good ideas are not going to be wasted on those that are not seeking, searching. Well prepared. Prepare yourself to be ready. Opportunity comes along and passes by the person that is not well prepared.
Fail big. That's right. Fail big. Today's the beginning of the rest of your life, and it can be very frightening. It's a new world out there. It's a mean world out there, and you only live once. So do what you feel passionate about. Take chances. I found that nothing in life is worthwhile unless you take risks. Nothing. There is no passion to be found playing small and settling for a life that's less than the one you're capable of living. Now, I'm sure in your experiences in school and applying to college and picking your major and deciding what you want to do with life, I'm sure people have told you to make sure you have something to fall back on. Make sure you got something to fall back on, honey. But I never understood that concept. Having something to fall back on. If I'm going to fall, I don't want to fall back on anything except my faith. I want to fall forward. I figure at least this way I'll see what I'm going to hit. Fall forward. The chances you take, the people you love, the faith that you have, that's what's going to define you. Thank you for mercy. Thank you for understanding. Thank you for wisdom. Thank you for parents. Thank you for love. Thank you for kindness. Thank you for humility. Thank you for peace. Thank you for prosperity. Say thank you in advance for what's already yours. Dreams without goals remain dreams, just dreams, and ultimately fuel disappointment. Dreams without goals, yearly goals, life goals, daily goals, monthly goals, hourly goals, minute by minute goals. Dream without goal are just dreams, and they ultimately fuel disappointment. Goals on the road to achievement cannot be achieved without discipline and consistency. You understand? Between goals and achievement are discipline and consistency.
Everything worthwhile is uphill. There is nothing in your life, there is nothing in my life that's worthwhile, that's quick and easy. You have to fight for it every day. You have to climb for it every day. Doesn't come to you. It's like one guy said, all my life I've worked hard at being an overnight success. Everything worthwhile is uphill. Now the problem is we have downhill habits.
Greatness will cost you something, not somebody else. It'll cost you something. It's going to cost you some time. It's going to cost you some energy. It's going to cost you some sacrifice. It's going to cost you some resources. It's going to cost you some hours of your life laying down, going the extra mile, doing what other people are not willing to do. Greatness is not cheap. Greatness always costs more. That's why there's not many people who achieve greatness. They're not willing to pay the price.
I've been riddled with self-doubt. That creeps up all the time in our lives. Am I enough? Am I good enough? Is this something that's part of my destiny? Should I be doing this? And do I deserve this? If you're a religious person, I believe the adversary's greatest tool that he could use against you to get you to lose in your life is to get you discouraged and doubting. These are two of the most chaotic things that the adversary can do to us, or that we do to ourselves in our own minds, is to get ourselves doubting, because you can't win when you doubt and you can't win when you're discouraged.
There's great power in self-reliance. Self-reliance means you simply look mostly to yourself. Primarily say, I'm the person responsible. I've got to be the final one that people can rely on. I can catch up. I can fill the gap. I can do the job. Primarily, we're learning to count on yourself. Never complain and never explain.
Hidden greatness is usually revealed during hardships. Usually you will not discover greatness in a person until they go through hardship. The hard places reveal hidden greatness. That's when you start seeing greatness. Watch what people do in trouble. Watch what people do in crisis. And if they fold up, there's no greatness there. But if there's greatness there, it'll come out in the hard places. Hidden greatness will get in trouble and rise to the occasion.
People who succeed in life do the things that need to be done, whether they feel like doing them or not. People who don't succeed only execute when they feel good. That is the difference.
If you do what is easy, your life will be hard. But if you do what is hard, your life will be easy.
So have dreams, but have goals. Life goals, yearly goals, monthly goals, daily goals. I try to give myself a goal every day. You will fail at some point in your life. Accept it. You will lose. You will embarrass yourself. You will suck at something. There's no doubt about it. Embrace it, because it's inevitable. It says, imagine you're on your deathbed, and standing around your deathbed are the ghosts representing your unfulfilled potential. The ghost of the ideas you never acted on. The ghost of the talents you didn't use. And they're standing around your bed, angry, disappointed, and upset. They say, we came to you because you could have brought us to life, they say. And now we have to go to the grave together. So I ask you today, how many ghosts are going to be around your bed when your time comes? Reggie Jackson struck out 2,600 times in his career, the most in the history of baseball. But you don't hear about the strikeouts. People remember the home runs. Fall forward. Thomas Edison conducted 1,000 failed experiments.
To think. And how do you get to think the way you think? And what made you think what you think right now? The history that created you is still with you. And even though you wear different clothes, drive a different car, it's the same person. because somehow our history is so heavy. It's tough to cut loose. We still apologize for being successful. We feel ashamed to be in charge.
See, but will cause you to procrastinate, but will cause you to hide out behind fear, but will cause you to come up with all type of excuses that you can validate your inaction. But is an argument for our limitations. And when we argue for our limitations, we get to keep them. And right now, more than ever, people need to look for ways to live their dream. People need to look for ways to make it on their own. There's no such thing as a storm-proof or tragic-proof life.
That's very important, how other people see you. If they don't see you as a leader, chances are they won't pay attention. If they don't see you as being in control, chances are they won't have the trust. If they don't see you as knowing where you're going, what you want to accomplish, they probably won't follow. If you have the image of someone that's in charge, in control, that kind of image is powerful. It helps to win the day. It attracts other people. People want to be around people that are in control. That kind of image is important.
A lot of people are running around here trying to figure out what it is to be happy, what it is to be fulfilled, what it is to connect the fulfillment of your life to something. And it's always like, I have what I have, but I still don't feel fulfilled. So in my mind, maybe if I get this, I'll be happy. Maybe if I get that, I'll be happy. And it's like this never ending, it's almost like you're chasing your tail, trying to finally bite your tail, and you never reach it.
All temptation happens in the mind. We think temptation is something out there that happens that we see out there and say, oh, that's tempting to me. It wouldn't tempt you if there wasn't a corollary desire inside you. All temptation happens in your mind, between your ears.
The enthusiasm that really affects people. The enthusiasm that runs deep. The enthusiasm that comes from deep inside. Created by self-confidence. Created by purpose. Created by genuine willingness to help other people. That kind of enthusiasm. A lot of it is quiet. A lot of it is unheard. And the 10% that's heard, it rings a bell. People call it genuine enthusiasm.
For anybody out there who's chasing greatness, who's trying to make a change in their life, who knows that there is something better out there for them, there's going to be times in your journey where you catch yourself comparing your path to others. So when we compare our paths to other people's, we don't know where they came from. We don't know how far it took them to get there. We don't know how hard it took for them to get there. We just see where they're currently at. And I want you to be careful, because it's going to be a very, very cautious road of you wanting to not own your path.
A big share of our life is preparing, getting ready. But here's preparation that's very vital, and that is to prepare yourself for success. Life seemingly does not wish to waste success on the unprepared. Wanting to excel in all of the skills and settling for nothing less than an outstanding performance. If you're willing to demand of yourself excellence in skills, to be the best that you can possibly be.
I don't just want to do something great. I want to be a great person, a great father, a great husband. I don't just want to do that. I want to be it. It's a difference between doing something great and being great. Greatness is not popularity. It's not how many Twitter followers you have.
About life, you will end up a casualty.
And you should understand this, that it was always going to be your family and your friends that would be the first ones to try and talk you out of your vision and your big idea. That's why you're supposed to live your life, focus on your intentions, and do your thing.
Knowing who you are, that will determine how you behave. When you know who you are, accept who you are, then that's going to determine what you do. When you allow your behavior to confuse your identity, then that's called an identity crisis. And the way that happens is you allow your behavior to determine who you are, and your behavior should not determine who you are. You cannot continue to look at what you do and conclude that what you do defines who you are.
Look back over 10 years in your life. What happened? And what have you learned from it? If you don't learn from what you lost, you have no profit. Why would you have that much pain and no profit? I want this year to propel me into my destiny. If it's just but one step, I want to make one step closer so that when I get to the next 10 years, I am ready for that stage of my life.
This will be a transformative year. It is not the movement of the clock that produces the newness of life. It is the movement in your mind. God is about to transform your thinking, your mindset. Don't let the habits of my past stop me from this metamorphosis. What separates us is transformation. The passion to get up off the ground and stop eating dirt. This is my time.
In other words, there were behaviors and thoughts you've had in the past that were needed to produce the results you currently have. But you need to stop what's no longer needed. So ask yourself that question. What do I need to drop that's no longer needed? Is it a behavior? Is it a person? One of those things you probably are carrying with you from the past, but that thought, that behavior, that person is no longer needed for you to go to the next level of your identity, the next level of yourself. If you're stuck in a story. Right now, if you say, Ed, I'm kind of stuck where I am. Well, what you need to do is you need to alter your associations. You need to do something in a short window of time and evaluate the story you're telling yourself. Maybe it's a story about your past, a story about your parents, a story about a success you used to have. You keep talking about that doesn't serve you to get to the next level. Every second you spend in that old story about what you've achieved, some business you had, every time you live in that story, you're stripping time and focus from the new story. What's the old story you keep repeating? Maybe it's not a success. Maybe it's a failure that you've had. You can't take that old story into the new identity. What's your new story? Who are you now? See, here's what's amazing. At any point in your life, you can just decide to write a new script. And guess what? You and God control the script. Listen to me. At any time you want, you can simply decide to be a new character. Stop telling the old story. Here's the truth. Nobody cares. And that old character you keep playing is the very thing that will prevent you from becoming this new version of you. Just awareness of the power of identity puts you in the 0.1% of all the people on the spinning earth right now.
Becoming is not about arrival, it's about the journey. We're committing to the journey. We're committing to the process. In fact, you won't get there until you die.
There are moments that try the human soul so violently that if the truth were told, all of us have had moments that we wanted to throw up our hands and walk away.
Because I believe that, what that tells me is that while I'm becoming, I'm going to face problems. Did you know it's totally possible to be struggling and becoming at the same time? Some of you in this room, you're struggling. But just because you're struggling hasn't stopped you from becoming. Our problems do not overshadow our purpose. Our weaknesses do not discount our work, and our deficiencies definitely do not delay our destiny. We have to learn how to work our weakness. Someone say, work your weakness.
Always something there to build a case on why you can't move on, why you can't grow to the next level, why you can't begin to manifest your greatness. Always something there to block you, to keep you where you are, and keep you from beginning to develop your true greatness. How do we handle it? If you've been using the fact that you don't have enough money or you don't have the education, take it head on. Go get the education.
These are philosophical statements, but they are very important. Leadership begins with your belief. And your belief system determines your philosophy of life.
Build your self-confidence, and the greater and greater your self-confidence get, it minimizes the impact self-doubt has on us. You weren't born doubting. You weren't born discouraged. You weren't born thinking negative things about yourself. As hard as this is to accept, these are not your thoughts. Those were thoughts that were placed in you and given to you by an external source at some time in your life. It could even be our parents. Maybe it was criticism you received as a little one that you may not even remember to this day.
That I've decided a long time ago that I didn't want to be another man who lived and died and didn't do anything significant. There's so many of y'all that are running around that are connecting whatever your concept of what life and love and happiness is to this thing that doesn't exist. And so in your mind, you're not living until you get to that.
I know when you keep toxic things in your life, you're going to feel toxic. And some of us are wondering why we don't feel great. The longer you keep toxic things in your life, the longer you keep negativity in your life. I'm a firm believer in giving multiple chances. But after a while, you have to realize sometimes it's what you're choosing to accept, right? You know what it is. Some of us, we're so blind to what we want it to be that we keep seeing something for what it's not. We keep seeing a person for who they don't want to become.
I don't care what they done said to you. I don't care what the verdict is. I don't care what the haters say. Prayer changed things. You need God. Don't you think I got here without him? I've needed him every step of the way. If it wasn't for God, I wouldn't even be standing here today. I'm telling you right now, you need God. Quit being ashamed about it and worrying about who looking. Go somewhere by yourself today and tell God you need some help.
They doubt the whole world is going to make it. But I'm asking you not to pick up all those doubts. I'm asking you to have some faith, have some courage, believe, drive your doubts into a small corner. Don't doubt the future. Don't doubt the extraordinary gifts that your distributors bring to your organization. Don't doubt that. Don't doubt the possibilities. And here's the most important one of all. Don't doubt yourself.
So you've got to decide, wait. Even if things don't work out, even if I experience defeat or failure, that does not make me a failure. It's a difference between failing and being a failure. If things don't work out, if you don't produce the results you want, that's all. But don't confuse who you are with the results that you produce.
It's impossible for you to have continuous success without having self-discipline in your life. And my greatest challenge as a leader is your greatest challenge as a leader. And that is, every day, keeping people climbing. Because they don't want to climb. They want to coast to success. They want it to come to them. And they just kind of hope that if they're at the right place at the right time, something wonderful will happen to them. It won't.
When you still carry your history, you are afraid of success. Because you may lose your friends who ain't going nowhere. Very subtle problems. Your attitude is so powerful. It creates your atmosphere. It also is a source of your natural lifestyle. If you're going to change your life, you got to change your attitude. Now, here's the bottom line. Your belief system is the source of your attitude.
I got better. I got better day by day and week by week and month by month. And I'm asking you to do the same thing until you can develop influence that won't quit. Touch people next year you couldn't touch this year. Heart and soul now mixed in there that wasn't there, missing before. I'm asking all of you to get better in spite of the winters, in spite of the downturn. Just get stronger. Get better. We've all got those personal winters.
Be careful how you think,
Your life is shaped by your thoughts. People say, well, I was just thinking it. Well, you don't realize how important the thought is. The power of your mind, the power of your thoughts has tremendous ability to shape your life for good or for bad. And if you accept the thought, if growing up somebody said to you, you're worthless, you're no good, you don't matter. If you accepted that fact, whether it was right or wrong, it shaped your life.
Spring is not a guarantee of a harvest in the fall and the autumn, harvest on. Here's what you must learn to do. Take advantage. Take advantage of the spring. Don't just be faked out by the spring because the nice weather has come and the winter's finally passed, the spring is here. I'm telling you, that's not going to do it for you. Just because the spring is here, it's not going to do it for you. You got to seize it with your own two hands. Opportunity mixed with challenge. It's opportunity mixed with difficulty. We've got a chance to grow like never before, but I'm telling you, there's going to be many enemies that's going to try to prevent us. As soon as you plant the garden, the busy bugs and the noxious weeds are out to take it, and you've got to learn not only to nourish your values, you've got to learn to do battle with your enemies.